Okay, in this video, we are going to actually see how can we work with images, particularly how can we read the image, how can we view its channels, how can we play with the different subregions of the image. So let's start by importing certain necessary packages. Import NumPy as NP, because most of the packages, when they read the image, they report the image as a NumPy array or NumPy matrix or array. So then import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. That's one package for reading and writing images, although there are several others like Pillow and OpenCV and stuff like so. And for now, let's import these packages and let's read an image. So next we read an image. Let's say we have an image somewhere here. That's the image of a bird. So let's copy its path. Control C. Let's go back to our Jupyter notebook. So we have now im equals im plt, im read r, and that's the path of the image, and that's the image we have. Now if we basically now we have this image available with us. Let's just show this image plt.imshow. That's a function in matplotlib.pyplot, and it should display the image in the notebook. Yeah. So this is the image. That's an RGB image. One strange thing about this particular image is it has 4 channels rather than 3 channels. Rather than having 3 channels like R channel, green channel, and blue channel, it has 4 channels. The 4th channel is not informative for us, so let's get rid of this 4th channel, and let's just have the 3 channels with us. Let's say im2 equals im, and just pick the only 3 channels, and now just display the shape of the image, and that is 1440 by 2560 by 3, where the very first channel is red, then green, and then blue. These are the channels. So what if I just draw for example, what if I change the intensity at the red channel? So for example, let me pick the red channel as im2. That's the red channel. This is the red channel. And let's say we have green channel as im2. That's green channel. And similarly, we have blue channel, red, green, and blue, im2. And this is 2. These are different channels. If you see all these channels, for example, each channel looks like a grayscale image. And even if you plot each channel individually, imshow r c map as color map as gray, then it will look like to you this particular, for example, this particular type. You can plot the 3 channels individually as well. So for example, if you just say, okay, fig ax1, ax2, ax3 equals plt dot subplots. Subplots, how many are these? Let's say 3 by 1, and fig size, you fix the fig size as 10 by 15, let's say. And then what you do is ax1 dot imshow r, where c map is gray, and then you have ax2 as into imshow rg, c map is equal to gray. And then you might have third one, which is the blue channel, dot imshow blue channel c map equals gray. And here let's plot them horizontally, so let's make it 1 by 3. So with this, fig size, I always miss this, yeah, equal to. So with this, you can now see that's the red channel, and that's the green channel, and that's the blue channel. So now from these red, green, and blue channels, you can see that the original image has more contribution at several places for red channel, because the red channel is more bright. And then we have green channel, and blue channel has pretty small values. We can see that in the image as well. The image is more reddish than the rest of the colors. Let's change the blue color. Let's increase the blue color and see what the image looks like. So for example, let's say m3 is m2 dot copy. Let's copy this image, and then what we do is we change the blue channel and make it maximum. So let's make it maximum, the blue channel. So with that, now if we display M3, it will be more bluish. So let's see, plt.mshow M3. So you can now see the image becomes more bluish. Yeah. So similarly, we can change the different areas of a particular image. For example, let's say M3 is again M2 dot copy. So what we do is we go to M3, and at a for example location from 100 to 600, let's go to this position, and again from 100 to 600. And in this particular position, in the red channel, we make the red channel as pretty small. The red channel becomes pretty small, and for the same bounding box or rectangle, or in this particular case it's a square, let's make the green channel a bit higher. Let's say this one. And for the same kind of rectangle, let's make the blue channel also a little bit smaller. So let's see. Let's say 20. And then let's display the image, plt dot mshow m3. So what should happen is at this particular bounding box, there should be a fixed color that is defined by this red contribution, this green contribution, and this blue contribution. Whatever this mixture, whatever color that mixture brings to. So let's see. In this particular case, oh, it shouldn't be white. It shouldn't be white. I guess something has gone wrong. It shouldn't be white. Let's do it for, let's say, let's make it completely red. Let's make it red. Yeah, it is red. Similarly, if we want to make it green, it will become green. If we, for example, do this thing, red, much more red, and then about some contribution about this blue, then we might get something like this. So that's a different kind of color. Wow. Similarly, we can play with these kind of colors. For example, if we set this one as 10, then maybe this becomes further different color. Oh, it becomes white. It has some problem with this green color. Maybe I should set this green color as maximum. Maybe that's particularly a problem with this particular image, although it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, that's more greenish. Yeah. So yeah, you can play with different channels. You can set different colors of different channels for different kind of images, no problem. In the next video, we will see how to convert an image to a grayscale image. And we will also see how we can write our own function to actually convert an image to a grayscale image. And then we will see some functions from built-in libraries that can do that stuff for us. So hope to see you in the next video. Okay, in the last video, we saw how can we read an image, how can we play with its different channels and stuff like so. So we actually read an image of a bird, and then we moved on to basically displaying its different channels. And we also saw how to increase the contribution or decrease or change the contribution of a different color. We also saw how to select a particular bounding box and change different colors of that. In this video, we are going to see how can we convert our image to a grayscale image. So for that, I'm actually going to read this image again, just to, so let's say this is our image. So we read our image again. It has 4 channels. So let's get a clean RGB image out of it. So till 3. So that's our RGB image with us. Now, the red channel, as we saw in the previous video as well, is the channel which is at the first index, which is 0. The green channel is at the second index, which is 1, because the indices, they start with 0 in Python. And similarly, the blue channel is indexed at the last. By the way, be careful. Maybe there are certain libraries that read an image in different format. For example, maybe you go to OpenCV, and when you read that image using OpenCV, maybe it reads the image in a particular way such that the first index refers to blue and the last index refers to red. So BGR convention is also there. Although in here we are in Matplotlib, we saw that the convention basically is RGB. So these are 3 channels. What if we average the 3 channels and just make one image out of it? Let's say gray. Let's say we have this image, and we just average out this particular these different channels. For example, we have some value, let's say 0.333, 0.333. We just multiply that with R, and then we multiply 0.333 with green, and then we multiply 0.33 with blue. What you can see is this is basically exactly, this is average, where all the red, green, and blue, they have same weightage, so you can call it a uniform averaging. That's average of the 3 channels, and the average really is stored in this particular image, gray. Now, if we just show that image, plt.imshow gray cmap equals to gray, different color maps, you might be seeing a grayscale image. However, people in this particular field, they think that the uniform averaging of different red, green, and blue channels, they do not actually make a grayscale image that is more realistic than the weightage that basically, I mean, they come up with the numbers that are not uniform, but they still are averaging numbers. So for example, a more promising way of converting image to a grayscale is to weight the red channel as 0.2989. That's the weight of red channel in the average. So the uniform averaging is not happening. Then the green channel has a weight of 0.5870 into green, and the blue channel basically has weight 0.1140 times blue. So what they say is this kind of weighting, this weighted average basically generates a grayscale image that is more realistic. So plt.imshow gray cmap gray. So yeah, so that's the basically grayscale image. And these are basically the numbers that different libraries, this is the transformation that different libraries use for converting an image to a grayscale image. So for example, let me use a library, for example, OpenCV, to convert an image to a grayscale image. And let me show both the grayscale image that we generated by this transformation and the grayscale image that OpenCV will generate. So let's see, import CV2, that's OpenCV. Then mgray using CV2 is basically CV2.cvt color, cvt color. We have our image m2, and then we have this what kind of conversion we want to move to. This is color RGB to gray. So that also converts the image to a grayscale image. So let's first see this image individually, and then we will show you side by side both of them. Oh, why don't I show you both the images side by side? So AX1, AX2 as PLT dot subplots, let's say 1/2, and fig size equals to, let's say, 10/15. And then what I do, AX1 dot mshow as the grayscale image that we generated using this particular transform. Let's display this image. CMap equals gray. And then and onto the second side, right side, we will show the image that is generated by CV2 library. CMap equals gray. And let's test the result visually. As you might see, visually both are exactly the same. Yeah, both results are. So that's the grayscale image by built-in OpenCV library, and this is the grayscale image we generated by this particular transform. And this is the standard transform for converting an image to a grayscale image. One note of importance is that once an image is converted to grayscale, grayscale image basically is a weighted average of red, green, and blue channels. The reversal is not possible. I mean, you should not expect that given a grayscale image, you can retrieve the red, green, and blue channels back exactly. And the reason, because if you, for example, are supplied with an average of some numbers, and somebody asks you to come up with the numbers whose average is this, there is no unique solution for that. So reversal is not possible uniquely. So that's about it. In the next video, we will talk about how the digital images basically are formed through camera. We will basically discuss the pinhole camera model. Hope to see you in the next video.